Hey, what's up guys, Sir Bear here, and in this video I'm going to share 5 tips for the officer role in Hell Let Loose. These are going to help you become a better squad leader, and in turn will hopefully get you more victories as well. Tip number 1 is to define a clear strategy. It's best that you do this early on in the game, so basically as soon as the squad is formed, and that you reiterate this when there are new members joining the squad. What I mean by having a clear strategy is that if you have a squad that is largely going to focus on the offensive, defensive, or even maybe logistics side of it, then you should make sure that your members know this. Not everybody is into playing defensively, not everybody is into playing logistically, and although many people seem to be into the offensive, there are some people that are not into that either. So it's better for you as a squad leader to have people in your squad that actually want to play the way that you want to play. Otherwise, they're just going to end up doing their own thing anyways. Number 2, and this strengthens number 1, is to ask what players can do and if they are willing to change. If somebody really likes playing as a medic, then that can be useful. Have them play as a medic. But if it comes to a point where you desperately need somebody to take support so you can place down a Garrison, or somebody needs to be an AT so we can take out a tank, ask your team. They don't have to stay the role the entire time, and you can make that very clear. Tip number 3 is to communicate. You've got your strategy down, you know that your people are going to be playing certain roles, but it's important that everything that happens gets communicated properly. Let your squad know that when they see enemies, they mark them, and you will mark them on the map. Pass this through to the other squad leaders through the command chat. Ask the commander for supplies when you need them. Tell your squad, as well as other squads, when there's a tank. Anything that you might deem significant needs to be passed around quickly and efficiently. Hell Let Loose is a communication game first, a military game second. If the communication fails, you lose the game. But if you all work together and you communicate and you cooperate, it's an easy dub. Tip number 4 is to really think about your garrison and outpost placement, and to plan this to suit your team's needs. If you need to place a garrison and most of your team seems to want to attack from the south side, then placing the garrison in the south side is probably a good idea. But if you're trying to flank on the east, then instead of placing your outpost in the south, put it near the east. It seems very simple, but more often than not, outposts are placed very far away from the enemy, and garrisons are placed in very awkward positions. It's important to place these close to the enemy, but not too close. You don't want to place these in the open where everybody can see them either. And you especially want to make sure that you can at least hold some 20-30 meters of range between your outpost and the enemy, because if they get too close to it, your outpost will be destroyed. And then the last tip is probably one of the most important ones. It can be seen a little bit as toxic to a lot of different people, but it's just a necessary thing if you want to be an effective squad, and that is to boot the uncooperative. If people aren't communicating, if they don't have mics and they're not talking in chat and they're not listening to your commands, then it's probably in the best interest of you and your other squad members to boot them from the team. Too often there are teams of 2 or 3 people really trying to communicate, and then 2 or 3 other people absolutely doing nothing. If these people simply listened to the communication, that wouldn't be a problem, but more often than not, they're just doing their own thing. Sometimes it's not that they don't have a mic, it's just that they refuse to use it. And that's fine if that's how you want to play, but that's what locking squads is for. You could simply create your own squad and lock that if that's how you want to play. And when it comes to locking squads, a little bit of an extra tip, number 6, although if I made this 6 tips for, the officer guide, then that wouldn't be very clickbaity, is to lock your squad. It makes it so people have to apply to join it, and if you play the game a lot and you play on the same server consistently, you'll start to spot certain names and you'll know who's a good fit for your team and who's not. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it for this video. I am going to be making a proper garrison and outpost placement guide soon, so stick around for that. If you have any other tips for officers, then let them know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them myself. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. I've been Sir Bear, hope to see you next video, and stay grizzly.